That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Moving on to game question 2, taken from the World Geography and Culture category. Prairie Grove, your geography question. Of the 5 Celtic languages, which is spoken in France?
Gaelic.
No.
Scottish.
No.
French.
No. That's time for the Steele, Gravett High School.
Franglish.
No. And for the Steele, Farmington High School.
Basque.
No. All good guesses. We were looking for Britain. Britain. Moving on to Gravett High School. Your geography question. African American English is a dialect known as what?
African American Vernacular English.
No. That's time for the Steele, Farmington High School.
Ebonics.
That is correct for 1 point. Moving on to Farmington High School, your geography and culture question. Dinglish is a combination of English and which other language?
Dutch.
No.
Danish.
No. That's time for the Steele, Gravett High School.
German.
German is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Gravett High School. Moving on to game question 3, taken from the U.S. History category. Prairie Grove, your U.S. History question. What famous Supreme Court case had established, quote, separate but equal, unquote, facilities for black and white Americans as a constitutional doctrine in 1896?
Plessy v. Ferguson.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravett High School, your U.S. history question. What 1962 Supreme Court case banned prayer from public schools?
Church versus the state.
No. For the Steele, Farmington High School.
Ingle v. Vattel.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. And Farmington High School, your U.S. history question. What 1963 Supreme Court decision stated that a defendant has the right to a lawyer regardless of their financial situation?
Gideon v. Wainwright.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Moving on to game question 4, taken from selected short stories and literature. Prairie Grove, your short story comes from Old Folks Christmas by Ring W. Lardner. How does Caroline get her parents to leave the house on Christmas Day so she can find friends over to party?
She asks them to go shopping.
No. Time, Farmington High School for the Steele.
She gets them tickets to a show.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Gravett High School, your short story comes from A National Pastime by John Cheever. What surprise achievement does Eben do in front of his 5 sons that finally buries his troubled past with his father?
He catches a fly ball at a Yankees game.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Gravett High School. Farmington High School, your short story comes from He Resting Place by Oliver Large. What secret task were Assistant Professor Dr. George Franklin and the museum night watchman asked to do by Dr. Clibben?
To file reports.
No. Time, Gravett High School for the Steele.
To find a reason to fire Dr. Hillebrand.
No. And Prairie Grove High School.
To watch over the older doctor.
Yes, for 1 point. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. All right, moving on to game question number 5, taken from the American government category. Prairie Grove, your American government question. Identify the term for a written argument an interest group can file in court known as a, quote, friend of the court, in which arguments presented to the court are in support of one side in a dispute without being involved in the case itself.
Amadeus Curie.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravette High School, your American government question. Identify the term for those political parties that have split away from one of the major parties, such as the Bull Moose Progressive Party, from the Republican Party in 1912.
Minor parties?
No.
Isolated parties?
No.
Third parties?
No.
Breakaway parties?
No. That's time for the Steel Prairie Grove High School.
Splinter parties.
Splinter parties is correct for 1 point. Moving on to Farmington High School, your American government question. Identify the term describing the years since Richard Nixon won the presidency in 1968, in which one of the major parties occupies the White House and the other party holds a majority of seats in one or both houses of Congress.
Split government.
No. For the Steel Prairie Grove High School.
Deadlock years.
No. And we'll call time. We were looking for divided government. All right, moving on to game question 6, taken from the Shakespeare category. Prairie Grove High School. Your Shakespeare question comes from Henry VI, Part 1. What stops the fight between Winchester and Gloucester's men at the Tower of London?
The tower falls.
No.
It's a holiday.
No. Call time for the Steel, Farmington High School.
The mayor intervenes.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Number 2, or yellow table, your Shakespeare question comes from Shakespeare's Othello. Cassio and Rodrigo get into a fight at Iago's urging. Who gets wounded in the fight?
Cassio.
No.
Rodrigo.
No. Time for the Steel, Prairie Grove High School.
Montano.
That is correct for 1 point. Prairie Grove High School and Farmington High School. Your Shakespeare question comes from Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. Who is Catherine jealous of?
Sister.
No.
Yanka.
Yes, for 3 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Moving on to game question 7, taken from the vocabulary category. Prairie Grove High School, your vocabulary question. Name the adjective meaning irritable.
Tractable.
No. That's time. Gravette High School for the Steel.
Testy.
Testy is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Gravette High School. Moving on to Gravette High School, your vocabulary question. Name the adjective meaning outlandish.
Outlandish.
No. For the Steel, Prairie Grove High School,
Uncouth.
that is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. And Farmington High School, your vocabulary question. Name the adjective meaning introverted.
Timid.
No. All right, for the Steel, Gravette High School,
Timidity.
no. And for the Steel, Prairie Grove High School,
Withdrawn.
withdrawn is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Before we read questions 8 and 9, each team has selected a different first half subject category question during a pregame meeting with the captains. When it is their turn, each team can only provide one answer to the question. A correct answer earns that team 4 points. Answer be incorrect. Two teams may try to buzz in and steal for 2 points. So moving on to game question 8, the team choice category. Prairie Grove High School selected vocabulary. Prairie Grove High School, your vocabulary team choice question. Name the adverb meaning word for word.
Verbatim.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravette High School, you selected for your team choice category, literature, selected short stories. Your short story question comes from Silent Snow, Secret Snow by Conrad Aiken. Ironically, what city and state does Paul Hasselman live in?
White Castle.
No. For the Still, Farmington High School.
Missouri.
No. For the Steel, Prairie Grove High School.
Los Angeles, California.
No. All good guesses. We were looking specifically for Fort Worth, Texas. All right, and moving on to Farmington High School, you selected for your team choice category, geography. Your geography question. There are 3 branches of Buddhism. Name any 2 of them.
Theravada and Vajrayana.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done. All right, and the last question of the first half is a team toss-up question. So all players, buzzers in hand. It is selected by me, the moderator. We are going to choose the category of American history. You can buzz in at any time if you think you know the answer. The toss-up American history question. What 1973 congressional law limited the president's ability to commit Prairie Grove High School?
War Powers Act.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done. All right, we're currently at the end of the first half. We have in first Prairie Grove High School with 21 points. In second place, Farmington High School with 20 points. And currently in third, Gravette High School with 10 points. We're going to take a quick halftime break so we can rotate players and introduce those second half players. Nicely done, guys. Oh, yeah, no, y'all are doing it nicely. No issues, that's good. Some of the questions, I proofread them. Sure. It's hilarious. We're good whenever y'all are. And just remember, players, there's one mic, so you'll pass the mic. This one from Butcher. I was reading these questions. Ooh. Did he put the map there? And all right, welcome back. Welcome back to our KURM radio listening audience as well. We are live at the Farmington High School Performing Arts Center, where we just completed our first half of the game number 5. Currently, we have Gravett with 10 points, Farmington High School with 20 points, and Prairie Grove in first place with 21 points. But our players have changed since our first half, so let's have the players again introduce themselves and their coaches, starting with the blue table from Prairie Grove High School.
Good morning, Mr. Seaton. Representing Prairie Grove for the second round is, from the audiences left to right, Macy Duncan, Eli Mertz, Griffin Roten, Jennifer Lopez, and myself, Noah Akey, and we are coached by the wonderful Donna Mitchell.
Thank you, Prairie Grove High School. In the middle table, the yellow table, comes from Gravett High School. Please introduce your second half players and coaches.
From the audiences left to right, we have Seth Lumen, Kristen Partain, myself, Mason Purrier, Joey Goodall, Ian Himsel, and we're captained by Captain Bassing and General Shaper.
Thank you, Gravett High School. And on the red table, Farmington High School. Please introduce your second half players and coach.
We are Farmington High School, and from the audiences left to right, we have Omar Kadan, Kirby Riffle, myself, Reed Petrie, Jonathan Bry, and Daniel Park, and we are coached by the wonderful Clayton Williams.
Thank you, Farmington High School. Now we will start the second half of game play with 7 new subject area questions, starting with game question number 10, taken from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette newspaper, the sports section, from January the 28th through February the 1st. Starting with Prairie Grove High School, your sports question. Who is the billionaire owner of the LA Rams who has been given the nickname, quote, Silent Stan, because of his refusal to do media interviews?
Stan Krokonek.
That is correct for 4 points. Moving on to Gravett High School, your sports question. Who's the Arkansas Berryville native who recently won the Arkansas Big Buck class after setting a new state record for the biggest buck killed with archery?
Scott Arnold.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Gravett High School. And Farmington High School, your sports question. Who is the 25-year-old Rogers Heritage pitcher who just earned his first major league win with the Tampa Bay Rays?
Holland?
No? That's time for the Steel Prairie Grove High School.
Hunter Wood.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Moving on to game question 11, taken from the chemistry category. Prairie Grove High School, your chemistry question. The entropy of a pure crystalline substance at absolute zero is 0. What is this statement more generally known as?
The third law of thermodynamics.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravett High School, your chemistry question. Balancing equations requires that the amount of each element must be the same on both sides of the equation. What law summarizes this phenomenon?
Stoichiometry.
No?
Law of Conservation of Mass.
That is correct for 3 points. Nicely done, Gravette High School. And moving on to Farmington High School, your chemistry question. Formulas for alkanes are written to reveal the way in which atoms are bonded to one another without having to draw all the bonds. What is the name of this notation?
Condensed structural formula.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School, and all 3 teams in that category. Moving on to game question 12, taken from the art history category. Prairie Grove High School, your art history question. Which artist painted the fresco Tribute Money in a church of Santa Maria del Carmen?
Gilles Burtis.
No. That's time. Gravette High School for the steal.
Giotto.
No. And Farmington High School for the steal.
Masaccio.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Gravette High School, your art history question. Which artist drew pictures of his father's sheep as a child and then became one of the most respected painters in Florence from 1272 to 1302?
Bruneski.
No.
Fabriano.
No.
Giotto.
That is correct for 2 points. Nicely done, Gravette High School. And Farmington High School, your art history question. Which artist was asked to paint a large altarpiece titled Messiah, Madonna in Majesty, for the Cathedral of Siena?
Da Vinci.
No.
Bellini.
No. Gravette High School.
Martini.
No. And we'll call time. We were looking for Duccio. All right, moving on to game question 13, taken from mathematics category, specifically Algebra 2 questions. We'll start with the blue table, Prairie Grove High School. If each team would pass out the pieces of blue paper in the blue envelope, you will have 60 seconds to answer this Algebra 2 question. Your timer will start as soon as I read the question, finish reading the question. If f of x equals 4x minus 2 divided by x plus 1, find f of negative 1, x.
Quantity x plus 1 divided by the quantity 4x minus 2.
No. That's time for the steal, Farmington High School.
The quantity negative x minus 1 in quantity divided by the quantity 4x minus 2 in quality.
No. And Gravette High School for the steal.
Y equals quantity 6 divided by quantity negative x plus 4 minus 1.
No. And for fairness, since all questions are similar in design, I will not read the answer, but we'll move on to the yellow table's math problem. So if you would, please pass the yellow envelopes and the pieces of paper to each player. You'll have 60 seconds to answer the question after I read it aloud. If f of x equals x plus 3 divided by x 2, find f of negative 1, x. Time. Farmington High School for the steal.
Negative the quantity x plus 2 divided by the quantity x plus 3.
No. And we'll call time. We'll move on to the red table, Farmington High School, your mathematics question. If all teams would please pass out the pieces of paper in the red envelope. You'll have 60 seconds to answer this Algebra 2 math question after I finish reading it. If f of x equals 3 plus x divided by 1 plus 3x, find f of negative 1x.
The quantity 1 plus 3x divided by the quantity 3 plus x.
No.
Negative 1 minus 3x over the quantity 3 plus x.
No. That's time. Gravette High School for the steal.
Inverse of x is equal to quantity x minus 1 divided by quantity 3x minus 3.
No. And we'll call time. The blue table's math problem, we were looking for the answer f of negative 1x equals 2 divided by 4 minus x, or you could have said negative x minus 2 divided by x minus 4. The yellow table, Gravette High School, your question answer was f of negative 1x equals negative 2x plus 3 divided by x minus 1, or 2x minus 3 divided by 1 minus x. And then Farmington High School, your math question answer was f of 1x equals 3 minus x divided by 3x minus 1, or x minus 3 divided by 1 minus 3x. All right, difficult math questions, but we'll move on to game question 14. Taken from the biology category, starting with Prairie Grove High School. Which organ system in mammals includes, among its primary functions, protection against mechanical injury and dehydration?
Osmobreg.
No. Call time. Farmington High School for the steal.
Integumentary.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Gravette High School, your biology question. What is the name for the proteins that provide innate defense in the body by inducing unaffected cells to produce substances which inhibit viral reproduction?
T cells.
No.
B cells.
No.
Helper T cells.
No.
Cytotoxic T cells.
No. That's time for the steal. Farmington High School.
Interferons.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Farmington High School. And Farmington High School, your biology question. What name describes any cell in a multicellular organism that can divide and asexually generate a clone of the original organism?
Totipotent.
That is correct for 4 points.
Yes, let's go.
Nicely done, Farmington High School. Moving on to game question 15 from the physics category. Starting with Prairie Grove High School, the blue table, your physics question. What force always opposes the motion of a sliding object?
Sliding friction.
No.
Kinetic friction.
Yes, for 3 points. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravette High School, your physics question. What term describes an object that is speeding up while moving to the left?
Translational motion.
No.
Projectile.
No. All right. Farmington High School for the steel.
Acceleration.
No. And Prairie Grove High School for the steel.
Negative acceleration.
That is correct for 1 point. Nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. And Farmington High School, your physics question. What is the perpendicular distance from the line of action to the pivot called?
Lateral arm.
No.
Moment arm.
That is correct for 3 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Moving on to game question 16, taken from the world history category. Starting with Prairie Grove High School. Your world history question. What is the name of the best-known Saxon king of Germany who was a patron of German culture and brought the church under his control?
Otto the First.
That is correct for nicely done, Prairie Grove High School. Gravette High School, your world history question. The religious order known as the Franciscans was founded by whom?
Francis.
No.
Saint Francis.
Yes, for 3 points. Moving on to Farmington High School, your world history question. Which ruler granted Encomended to the Spanish settlers in the Americas?
Pizarro.
No. That's time for the Steel Gravette High School.
Elizabeth II.
No. And we'll call time. We're looking specifically for Queen Isabella. All right, moving on to game questions 17 and 18, which happens to be the team choice and toss-up questions. Each team has selected a different second half subject category during their pregame meeting with the captains. When it is their turn, each team can only provide one answer to the question. A correct answer earns that team 4 points. Should the answer be incorrect, the other two teams may try to buzz in and steal for 2 points. So in the pregame meeting with the captains, the blue table, Prairie Grove High School, selected world history as your team choice category. So your world history question. Scholars believe that over 100,000 inhabitants may have lived in the Mayan urban center known as Tikal, which is located in what present-day country?
India?
No. For the steel, Farmington High School?
Teotihuacan.
No. And we'll call time. We were looking specifically for Guatemala. Moving on to the yellow table, Gravette High School, you selected physics as your team choice category. Your physics question. What Greek letter is used to represent the sum of?
Delta.
No. Clear. Prairie Grove High School for the steel?
Epsilon.
No. And Farmington High School for the steel?
Sigma.
Sigma is correct for 2 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. And Farmington High School, you selected mathematics. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Making sure here. All right, you each have white envelopes on your table. If you would please pass the white envelope pieces of paper to all players. Your mathematics question, you'll have 60 seconds to answer. If f of x equals 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 2, find f of negative 1x.
quantity x plus 2, closed quantity, over quantity 3x minus 1?
No. Gravette High School for the steal.
Quantity -1 plus 3x divided by quantity x plus 2?
No. And Prairie Grove High School for the steal.
The quantity 9x plus 1 divided by x squared minus 2x plus the quantity 3 over x.
No. All good guesses. I specifically have the answer is f of -1x equals 2x plus 1 divided by x minus 3. All right, for the last question of the game, it is a toss-up category selected by me, the moderator. If you'll all get your buzzers in hand, your category selected for the team choice toss-up, or I'm sorry, team toss-up question is chemistry. What is the term for alkanes that form rings or cycles? Farmington High School.
Cycloalkanes.
That is correct for 4 points. Nicely done, Farmington High School. And that concludes game number 5. And we currently have in third place Gravette High School with 22 points. A close second, Prairie Grove High School with 38 points. And first place, the host team, Farmington High School, with 40 points. Congratulations to all teams. I'd like to remember audience, the final standings are based on the cumulative score for the 3 games played during the regular season. Today's scores will be added to that total. At the conclusion of the regular game season, teams will be ranked according to their 3-point total, and the top 5 teams advance to the championship games to be held on Tuesday, March the 12th, 2019, here at Farmington High School. We'll take a short radio break to see if there are any challenges to the questions from Game 5, and then return shortly to start Game 6. Thanks for listening, and goodbye for now. Well, we put it in there. There's always the last match before the seeding, so. Okay. Challenge. Here we go, madam.